Welcome to a new episode of Treasure Chest, the Fulfillment Tools podcast and webcast. Today's guest is fabulous Jasmin Guthmann. She is an accomplished leader in the composable commerce world with a very strong background in brand building, communications and marketing. She had management positions at companies such as Valtech, Content Stack and now Accenture Song. She has been serving on the executive board of the Mach Alliance and has been a driving force behind the Women in Mach movement, really pushing diversity and inclusion in one of the most exciting and most relevant tech ecosystems of our time. And as if redefining industries wasn't enough, she's also a long-distance athlete. She's training for and competing in Ironmans and ultra marathons. We will learn all about it today. And lucky for us normal people, she has channeled all of her experience into 2 books. One of the books is If There Is a Will, There Is a Way, which we will be exploring in today's episode. And we will talk about the right mindset and habits and routines you need to turn obstacles into real outcomes. Welcome, Jasmin. Thank you so much for following my invitation. I'm very, very excited for our conversation.
Oh, such a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Linda. And I mean, after that intro, I'm speechless. Thank you so much for the kind words.
So your book, I loved it. I'm a big fangirl. It's all about achieving goals. Right. But before we really dive into how to do that, how do you find out if a goal is really the right one for you, and why is that even important? Isn't like a goal?
That's a great question. There's a whole chapter in the book that explores the difference, because you might think a goal is a goal. Why aren't they all built in a different way? And I distinguish between 2 versions, really, 2 types of goals. Mm-hmm. One is your authentic goal. That is in line with your values and something that keeps you up at night, but in a good way. Like you're so excited about what you're trying to achieve that there's real, and it gives you energy. And then there's the other type of goal, what I call illusory goals, is where you've borrowed a goal from LinkedIn or society or some other place. Sometimes you're not even aware that that's the case. And those are the goals that don't give you energy, they drain you. So, when you're thinking about that, it's like, you're grinding your teeth and you're dreading even thinking about it and hating everything that comes with that. And those are the types of goals that we all better get rid of, because ultimately they will make you very miserable.
Okay, so what would you suggest? Like if a person finds out, okay, it's not an authentic goal, it's an illusionary goal, it's a goal that I chose because of whatever reason, pressure from society, parental pressure, my own ego, you name it, whatever. What is a person supposed to do if they find out that that's not the right goal, that actually really fulfills them and is really in line with their values?
I think the first step, and that is super important, is celebrate the inside, right? Mm-hmm. We have such a tendency to beat ourselves up if we're not on the right path. I mean, first of all, what is the right path? Nobody knows. Most of the times we don't even know what our right path is, and I don't think there is such a thing as right or wrong. It's you change. Everything changes. And with that, give yourself permission to reinvigorate something that you've lost along the way, or to really reassess what you thought was important and what is actually going to be important going forward, because you only have one life to live. It would be a shame if you end up spending your limited time on this planet doing something that is not relevant to you, but something that somebody else wanted for their reasons, not your reasons. So celebrate the fact that you have now arrived at a conclusion. The book has a 9-question process that you can follow to figure out, is this goal something that is actually mine, or is it something that I have picked up or feel like I have been made to think that is something that should be important to me, but it really isn't. And once you do that, break free. and reassess and figure out, okay, if this is not what I want, what would actually make me happy? What do I want to remember? Not what do I want other people to think? Other people will always think something, and you have no influence over that. So breaking free from that pressure is what is ultimately going to make you happy. And funny enough, once you are more self-reliant, more good things will be coming your way. It sounds a little wonky, but good energy actually attracts good energy, and then things start self-perpetuating in a good way.
Absolutely. I love how you say celebrate the inside, like celebrate the good in it if you find it out. I remember when I read your book, I was like, wow, these Ironmans sound so cool. I want to do one as well. And then I'm like, no, that's definitely not an authentic goal for me. So let's say once you have an authentic goal, you maybe are all enthusiastic about it in the beginning, but then how do you really keep on track if like what we call everyday life comes in between and distracts you? And do you have some tips, some advice?
Oh, a great question, because guess what? Life gets in the way.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Full stop. And nobody's exempt. People ask me sometimes, how do you find the time? And the honest answer is, I don't. You have to consciously make time for the things that are important. We all just have 24 hours in any given day. Now, the question is, how do you set yourself up for success? If you just kind of leave it open how you're going to go about it, chances are that life is going to get in the way, because you don't have any scaffolding, you don't have any structure to actually ensure that you're going to be able to do the things that matter to you. And I think your calendar, my calendar, everybody else's calendar is the first place I would encourage everybody to look. And there is a principle that says your whole day should be planned. And I know some people are already like, oh God, no, that would be too much. That is so much pressure. But actually, if you schedule time for reading, for exercising, for playing with your kids, for walking the dog, for all the things that give you energy, chances increase that you're actually going to spend that time doing what you want to do, what gives you good energy. So that's the first place I would look, because dedicated decisions show up in two places: your calendar and your bank account. So those are the two things. How do I spend my time? And actually physically, how do I spend my time? And how do I spend my money? Because guess what? If you want to eat healthier and you look in your bank account and it has 15 deductions from all the food delivery services, chances are you're saying that you want something, but it's one of those illusory goals. You apparently haven't arrived at a state yet where you're making the decisions that will actually make you the person who lives healthier. So that's a great first inventory step, almost like, okay, look at your bank account, look at your calendar. And if you find that they don't support your goals, start chunking time out in your calendar and start spending your money on what will actually get you closer to your goal and not further away from it.
And I love that you actually provide really hands-on advice in the book with like structuring your calendar with colors for everything you want to do, so you really see it at a glance. Really like that. I also love the passage you wrote about quitting, because I mean, you are a power woman, you set your goals, you achieve your goals. Let's talk a little bit about quitting. And can you maybe explain your view of quitting and also describe a situation in your life where you almost quit, either in sports or in your career, and what actually pulled you through in the end?
So much to say here.
Go on.
I quit all the time. And it's funny, people look at the front cover that we all have and they're like, oh, she's so successful and she does all these amazing things and she gets everything that she wants and she's so lucky.
Not the water drinking.
Oh God, no. And I see that's actually a great example. It's like, yes, society tells you should be drinking, 3 liters of water a day, ridiculous amount from my point of view. I'm sure it's helpful for some people, but no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't, no tool, no set of markers, no nothing helped me actually get there. And so I realized, no, that is something that just doesn't work for me. So I quit. And it's hard. Annie Duke actually wrote an excellent book. It's titled Quit. I can only recommend reading that because she's a poker player, professional poker player. Used to be in data science, went poker playing, actually made it to professional. And she says the one thing that we all have in common is we don't like to quit, right? Because it's associated with giving up, with failure, with not being good enough. And the opposite is actually true. People who win are the ones that realize early enough when to let go. Because there will always be times where you make decisions in the moment based on the information that you have at the time that will present themselves differently a little down the road. But that's where that famous saying kicks in. It's like life can only be understood backwards, but it has to be lived forward. So I can only make decisions now with what I know now. And then if tomorrow I make a different assessment, who says that I cannot change my mind? That is something that we all struggle with, though, and me, including me. I'm like, but I've thought about it this way yesterday. I can't just change my mind. Yes, I can. And many times we should, because we have new information or we have arrived in a different set of circumstances. And the worst thing you can do is hold on to what you decided some time ago just because you thought about it that way back then. The head is around so that the thinking can change direction. It's a super old quote and I love it because we think we have to be very linear in the things that we do, but we actually don't. And if you can look at something and realize that it's no longer serving you, then the best thing you can possibly do is let go of it. There are so many examples. Which one to give you first. But quitting always feels natural in the moment, and still we give ourselves such a hard time. And I think there are two different situations. One is where you should absolutely quit because it's not doing you any good. So if we're in sports and you feel bad and there's two different pains. There's a pain where you know that you're going to injure yourself. If you're pushing through it, you're a fucking idiot. So that is absolutely one of the moments where you have to stop. Then there is pain or something that is uncomfortable. That's just uncomfortable. So that's a moment in time where there are plenty of frameworks and tools to help you stick to it and help you actually not quit, but turn it into something that is super valuable for you, for your teams. If you're in sports, if you're leading a team and your team hits a wall and you have to figure out a way as a leader to keep moving, to keep them believing in the goal that you've set out for everybody. But those are two very different situations. And being able to recognize, okay, here's a moment that will cause harm. Physical, business, life. You absolutely have to stop. And it's easier if you think about the parameters beforehand. Because when we're in a situation, we're all way too emotional. It's like the stock market. If you're on a ride and the stocks are tanking, everybody panics. If beforehand, when everything was fine, you came up with rules on, hey, if this ETF hits this valuation, I am going to quit. It's so much easier to follow those rules if you've made the rules in peace and quiet and not when you're in the heat of the moment. So think about your breaking points. Like when I arrive in this situation, when this happens, if I don't get the promotion by X, then I'm going to do Y. If you can come up with those kinds of rules in advance, it'll do you so much better than trying to figure out things in the moment.
Very good. And if we take like the whole mindset in the book a little bit more to the business world. So maybe you have like in your career or in work, you have goals that are not very intrinsic, like an Iron Man. But you have goals you have to follow, and there are like tasks that are necessary. You just have to do them. But maybe it's like a downtime or whatever. It's just hard for you to do these necessary tasks. Do you have like an advice or a hack how to get through those tasks that are just not fun doing them?
Oh, totally. And we all know those, right? If I ever find a job that is 100% the things that I like to do, if anyone is out there who's found a job like that, please tell me. Because, you know, we always say, if there's an 80-20 ratio, 80% of things that you like and 20% that you just have to do, that's already a great ratio. So one, let's be honest about, no job out there only has fun things, period. Now, what do you do about those hopefully 20%, maybe slightly more things that are necessary? My advice would be stop thinking about it. And, you know, it's a little like brushing your teeth. If you stand in front of the bathroom mirror every night having a debate with yourself whether you are going to brush your teeth or not, or whether you have motivation to brush your teeth tonight or not, it's going to be an absolute disaster. And you're going to waste so much time every night trying to come up with a new decision. What we're basically talking about is decision fatigue. What if you just decided it once and then went with it? It's so much easier for you from a psychological, mental perspective, but it's also so much easier to stick to it because you only have to make a decision once and then you just execute. So there's really only two questions that you have to ask yourself. One, is it necessary? If the answer is yes, you'll probably have to do it. Do you have to do it? Yes. Better do it straight away, because then at least it's off your never-ending to-do list and you can focus on something else. So make a habit, make a routine out of it, so you don't actually think about it. And don't bitch about it. Don't bitch and complain about it and feel sorry for yourself. It's pointless. It's just wasted energy. Does it have to be done? Do it now.
So we talk a lot about your sports, which I love. What are the parallels between like the high endurance, long distance sports and leading like a business or a team or an important project in business? Can you like draw some parallels that you see from your experience?
Absolutely, and that is what makes it so beautiful, because actually whether we talk about sports or business or life, the same principles apply. Now, if you look at an ultra marathon, and I had a disturbing experience at a 6-hour run. So that's a very peculiar type of exercise. You don't have a finish line anymore. You run for 6 hours on a 3-kilometer lap.
As much as you can.
As many as you can. And whoever does the most laps wins. Yeah, I know. That was the general reaction. It's like, why would I do that? Because you can. But it's kind of, sometimes that is business, right? You don't know, there is no finish line. And what happened, at least to me, is the first half was fine, but around the 3-hour mark, I blew a fuse, a mental fuse. I was perfectly fine physically, but my brain went, what the fuck are we doing here? This is going to last another 3 hours. Nobody cares how far you run. You might as well, you can walk, you can run, it doesn't matter how fast you go. So all the incentives went out the window. And the same happens in business. Like you don't have a finish line, you're never done. Every quarter there is a new target. If you hit your target, it's higher than your target. So the goalpost always moves away from you. And it's very hard to keep up with that mentally. And so for a short period of time, thankfully, I was like, I'm done. I started walking. I was like, what's the point? And I think we all have had that kind of feeling in our professional lives as well. It's like, why am I here? Does it even matter? Does anybody care? And then I figured, you know what? Stop thinking about the whole. Stop trying to make sense of it all because it's just too much. What I can do is focus on the next step.
Yeah.
What is the next step that I can take that will get me closer to my goal? But not thinking about the whole thing. Let's just stay in my parameters, in my job description, in this quarter. What is one thing that I can do right now that will actually visibly make progress on something that is important? Stop worrying about, am I going to be promoted in 2 years' time? Am I going to become a C whatever, fill in the blank? Anything that is that far out has a tendency to go a different way anyways. All the 5-year plans, I've never seen somebody who had a 5-year plan and actually actually
executed
made it work. Because things change.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way. So focus on what you have right in front of you.
Yeah.
Do that one lap and then reassess and have a look at it. Okay, awesome. Did one more lap. Now, if I do another lap, I'm actually going to be at the marathon mark. Awesome. So you do that lap and then you're like, actually this isn't so bad. If I do 2 more laps, I can actually hit the 50-kilometer mark. Okay, and if I do 1 more, that is going to be enough. And you can give yourself permission to just take it one step at a time. And I think that would also be so beneficial. I see a lot of junior people in business that are very lost or super ambitious, but don't quite know how to get to their desired state. Now, there's a lot of questions that we can ask. If somebody comes to me and says, hey, I want a promotion, I'm always like, okay, why? Because I used to be that person. I wanted promotions because you want the title. If we're honest, you want the title, you want the fame, you want the money,
you want the update of the LinkedIn profile every
new
X
business
years.
cards while they still existed. You want to be important. You want to be recognized. You want your effort to be seen. All the things. Now, none of that equation actually entails what you're going to be responsible for and what that new reality, that new job reality is going to look like. And guess what? It doesn't look anything like what you're doing today. Are you actually prepared to be taking on team responsibility? Do you know what that means? If you're going from individual contributor to team lead, everybody wants to do that. But many people I find have not really thought about what that actually means. And I'll never forget a dear chief creative officer friend who, everybody thinks, awesome, he's made it. He finally he climbed to the top and he was the most miserable man on the planet. And he said to me, Jasmin, I had no idea I would be so unhappy, but guess what? All I do is administrative bullshit. I do not do a single creative thing all day anymore. And I hate it. So he's actually thinking about, like basically going back, which is impossible. You and I know that. That's also part of the things that I think should be more, that we all should talk about more. It's very hard to reverse something like that once it's gone about. So that makes it even more important to be very conscious in, if you want to move up the ladder, awesome, but are you actually aware what that fully means? And guess what? If you want to be promoted, I think it's that if that is the end goal, start doing amazing things now. And stop fretting about, will this ladder up to a promotion eventually? People that ask for checklists to be promoted are usually not the people that get the promotions, because that is not what we're looking for. What we're looking for, right, is people who are self-starters, are driven, are passionate, see something that needs doing, pick it up and go do it.
Take responsibility.
And eventually, every once in a while, you gotta take a risk. If all you do is follow instructions, I hate to break it to you, but
difficult.
Might work in a very unique environment.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about young professionals. What were some of the beliefs that you had like 10 years ago when it comes to achieving goals and the right mindset that you changed completely?
Oh God, I was a different person 10 years ago, right? If one, we would have never talked 10 years ago. 2015, I was in financial services.
I cannot imagine that, to be honest.
You know, it didn't last that long, to be fair. But it was a very different time, and I loved it. But it wasn't forever.
Yeah.
And I think the most applicable thing is I used to think that you became ready. Like you would feel ready and then you would go do something. And I've come to realize that that is never the case.
Yeah.
Ready is not a state to arrive at. Ready is actually a decision that you make. And the first time that I really realized that was for my very first Ironman, full distance. I never, ever, not even on the starting line, felt like I was ready to do that. No, zip, no. Yeah. Why? Because you never do it. You don't have...
You don't do it in the training?
No.
Yeah.
12 hours?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? No.
Yeah.
If it goes well, that is, right?
Yeah.
So what happened is, for years, I was like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not going to do this. This is too much. What if I fail? What if I'm not ready? And then 5 years in, I was like, you know what? I can keep saying this for another 10, 15, 20 years for the rest of my life, and I'll never know. I'll never find out if I'm actually capable of doing this or not. The only way to find out, though, is to actually put yourself on the line. Talking about it won't do it. Fretting about it won't do it. Thinking about it is not going to do anything. The only way you can find out if you can do this is to actually try and give it a really good try. And now again, that's where people sometimes fail prematurely because they have a big, audacious dream, but then they don't do the work in calculating backwards. If this is my dream, if this is my goal, what do I have to do for the next year or even longer to actually stand a good chance of making it there? So I think the planning is super important, and you have to plan super tight, but then hold the plan very loosely. And again, that's the same in business, right? If you want your business to be successful, you have to plan very tightly, but then guess what? The market can change, the customers can change, the employees can change, the taxation can, anything is up for grabs. So yes, you have to plan tightly, but then hold the plan lightly, because you have to be able to adapt. And that's really the secret. If you're going to think about it that way, it's not a secret. It's surprisingly simple, but it's also surprisingly hard.
That's a great learning. Yeah. Thank you. So, Jasmin, how do you find like the right balance between like keeping the routines, keeping your busy schedule, and then unforeseen things that come in the way? How do you do it? How do you balance it? Do you have some examples for us?
Yeah, and it's a hard task, right? It's a tough question. But I think it is in line with what we just talked about. It's you have to plan tightly, but then you have to hold the plan lightly. If something gets in the way, first of all, don't beat yourself up. There's no point. Know that is going to be happening, and that you will need to be flexible. A missed workout is not the end of the world. A missed meeting is not the end of the world. A missed deadline is not the end of the world. The problem becomes a problem when these things happen repeatedly. So, give yourself permission to not do something every once in a while. For people that are I'm more the military general type. I have to give myself permission to not execute on everything 100% all the time, because otherwise I feel bad. So if you're that type of person, giving yourself permission will help. You might be the other type of person that is very fluid in things and has a harder time actually putting structure in things. In that case, force yourself to put a few milestones in. And visualization is usually a helpful tool where you write it down and put it on your refrigerator or your next to your screen in your office, just so you have a visual reminder of what you've actually set out to do. And sometimes you're both people. I think that's also important to understand.
Yeah.
Depending on your phase of life or your phase of the year or however you structure your things. Sometimes you're the person that needs more rules and sometimes you're the person that needs less rules.
Yeah.
Being mindful about which person you are in this moment is also super helpful. And I think that's probably what I would encourage everybody to put on their calendar is 30 minutes a week to make an honest assessment. Where am I at right now?
Yeah.
What am I doing enough of? And what am I not doing enough of? And again, don't be hard on yourself. That's not an opportunity to yell at yourself in your head, which we all do every once in a while. It's an actual opportunity to audit what's going on and become aware where you're lacking and where you're overextending. And if you do that, it's very hard the first few times, so don't give up. If week 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's like it feels like pulling nails. It is something that gets better with time.
Gets
and
easier.
Absolutely. And it provides so much clarity in terms of what you actually need. And then again, go about it in a structured way where if you find that you have not enough time for X, Y, and Z, put it on the calendar. And if you're spending too much time in meetings that come with no agenda and no responsibilities and the invitee list is 500 people, decline. Or at least send an email saying, hey, can I have an agenda for that? Or do you really need me? You'd be surprised how often the answer is, well, not really, but we thought you'd be interested. It's like, I appreciate that. Thank you for wanting to keep me in the loop, but guess what? Send the meeting notes. Or, if you need something from me, just send me 3 lines in whichever tool that we're using. And
meetings, that could be an email.
God,
We've talked about this as well.
So many meetings that could be emails. But most of the time, I find it's not bad intentions, but it's people not thinking it through. So if you can actually help them either, rethink what the meeting was for, or reorganize it in a more efficient way, that goes a long way for your business as well. And again, it's hard. The first time you do it, it feels like you're letting everybody down. But actually, you're enabling everybody to do better work. And again, it takes practice. So that would also be something that I encourage everybody to try. So just say no. And see what happens. Because you think the world is going to crash, and guess what? Nothing happens. Nothing.
Absolutely.
But you have to experience it. People tell you that is going to be the case, and you're like, whatever. But so go do an experiment and try it yourself. That's fun.
Absolutely. So, I'm passionate about building companies.
Right.
Like, if you were launching like a tech startup tomorrow, what would be like the principles from your book that you would incorporate in the company's DNA from day one? What would be super important for you?
God, I love the idea.
I love the idea as well.
You know what? I think I would focus on 3 things, and one is super obvious, right? Dream big. If you want to found a tech startup today, dream big, dream bigger. You want it to be the next unicorn. You really want to break the mold. So that's number one, but kind of given. I think if you're founding and if you can speak to that way more elaborately than I do, then you're in for a pretty tough ride. And it looks fancy from the outside, but it's very, 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 very hard on the inside. And it doesn't go up all the time. And that's another thing that we are all kind of raised with. It's that expectation that life is only going to be up. Right, you get promotion, and then you're a boss, and then you retire.
Yeah,
that is the idea that we all have, including me, and I'm starting to question that. Yeah. So that's that, dream big.
Yeah.
And next would be ask for help, because it's freaking hard.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to figure it all out on your own, by yourself, chances are that it's at the very least it's going to be a lot harder than it needs to be. Might even fail because you just don't know what you don't know. And again, you'd be surprised how many people are happy to help you. All you have to do is ask. But we don't, because we think people are going to think that we're not capable or that we fail, and the opposite is true. So asking for help is really not admitting that you can't do it. That's really stupid. It's actually saying, hey, I am not the expert here, and I'm not the expert on 99 out of 100 things. I'm not the expert for this. You are. Or you've done this before, or you know the space, or fill in the blank. It doesn't really matter. Can you tell me a little bit about how you look at the situation? And then just come up with better decisions, because the more you know, the better you can actually evaluate what you're up against. And I have yet to have someone say, no, I don't want to help you. Might be that I'm asking the wrong people. But, of course you ask people that you know, that you respect, and people that you consider experts in what they do. So I can only encourage you to, everybody who's listening, to go ask for help. And don't be ashamed, or, don't be shy, because most people are happy to help. Just think about it the other way. If someone sends you a note right now and says, Linda, I'm trying to found my own business. Would you have 20 minutes for a quick chat? Would you say no?
Absolutely, yes. It's so much also about giving back, because I have been going on the nerves of so many people. And then I'm always happy to help. And I think that's really the case. And I think it's very dangerous to keep stuff to yourself and work on it in your little dark room, and then work on it for like 2 years, and then go out and say that's the big bang thing. And maybe 2 conversations could have made it so much better.
And actually iteration, right? So I mean, I've met quite a few people who think it has to be perfect before they share, because they want to be perceived as the expert. And I've always encouraged them just to actually get comfortable with sharing something that is 80%. Because guess what? In your own head, that is just one dimension. And only when you air it out, when you have other people look at it, can it actually become as good as it can possibly be. Now, if you never let it see the light of day, it might be great, but it might also suck. And you will never know. And that's why, fail fast, fail early. And it's not, to me, that is not failure. It's actually testing. It really is testing. Think about it as testing your idea and refining it. So it actually stands a better way of succeeding. And no business operates in your brain or in your living room where, only your opinions count. It will have to stand the test of the market. So get it to market early in a beta or whichever label you want to put on it. But until it hits the streets, you don't know what you don't know.
Okay, so you have dream big, ask for help.
And never give up. That is the catch-all. Because it will get tough.
Yeah.
You'll start on a high, everything's going to be amazing, and then things will get hard.
Yeah.
Either because you scale, and you've fair share about that. You scale company culture, you try to preserve it, but it's just not possible. And things change. Things change. People change. The market changes, and there will be rough patches. Yeah. And in those times, it's very easy to doubt yourself, your team, your anything, your life, your partner, your dog, your kids. Anything becomes, hard. And it's so important to remember and prepare yourself to never forget and never give up, and believe that you are going to make it through that rough patch, because chances are it is only a rough patch, but while you're in it, it's so hard to see, right? Because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're in the tunnel. You're like, is it ever going to get better? Is this it?
Yeah.
And so building a repository almost of your reasons why, and that kind of ties back into the authentic goal, right? If it is an authentic goal and you're passionate about it, that will give you the power, the energy to actually see it through such a rough patch.
Yeah. I think we could do a whole episode just on that question. Let's get back to the Mach Alliance. I introduced it in the beginning that you have been serving on the executive board. You have been very invested in the Mach Alliance. Now, some of our audience are retailers. They want to rebuild their whole architecture and infrastructure from like a very monolithic world to like a best of breed and composable world. What would you advise them to do, or how can they use the mindset you describe in your book to really get such a project through till the end, which is combined with many obstacles, many challenges along the way. We all know that. Can you share some of your experience?
Yeah, and I think the first thing is, it's funny that you said how to see it through the end.
Yeah.
I think that's...
Is there an end?
Great question. That's a misconception that I see a lot. It's like, we're just going to do this project and we'll have a project plan and then we're done.
Yeah. And
the truth is you're never done, which is good and a bad thing, right? Yeah. So the amazing side is if you decide to go for a composable architecture, you have freedom and you can build and buy, because you don't have to, nobody's asking you to create everything from scratch. Yeah. But you can buy best of breed solutions that matter to you. And that is a unique bespoke case for every retailer out there, because not all businesses are created equal. Yes, there will be overlap. Yes, you can look at best practices, but ultimately you will have to look at your own tech stack, your own tech depth, and your digital maturity, and what you actually want that to look like in the future. And depending on where you fall on all of these parameters, your solution will be different. I think there's really 3 principles that help. The first is clarity. And many times that is not there. You need to have a crystal clear vision as a retailer on how you want to transform your business and what you want the end result to be. And then you start transforming service by service, cart by cart, checkout by checkout, solving every single problem along the way. Now that is not a short-term project. So the second thing that's super important is commitment. You cannot leave a monolith. So if you're on a monolithic platform and you don't like it because you're only using 20% of the functionality but you're paying for 100%, then you can't half leave it. You have to make a decision, and then you have to follow the steps, trace the steps back. And yes, that may turn out to be a strangler pattern where slice by slice you start slicing off the monolith and moving to a composable architecture, but then again, you cannot stop that halfway through, because now it's starting to get difficult.
Yeah.
Because then we're in the same situation. Not all of this, no matter what the vendors tell you, not all of this is going to be a smooth ride. And you will encounter obstacles that you did not foresee. And it kind of takes us back to yes, you have to have a plan, but you have to hold it lightly.
Yeah.
Just from real life experience, we just had a project where, the plant migration was supposed to take a few days. We're now 7 months in and nothing has been migrated because sometimes life is really, really, really not working in your favor. And you sometimes don't know what you're walking into, especially if you're a large organization and you have a lot of technical debt and you have a lot of unclear responsibilities and unclear ownership. Coming back to the clarity point, that's when things get very messy very, very easily. So be super clear on not just what you want, but also who's responsible.
Yeah.
Because otherwise people will kind of shuffle around and try to avoid that responsibility.
And the change it comes along with.
Change is hard.
Yeah.
That's why we always say the tech is actually the easy part. Choosing a tool and rolling that out to your employees is fairly straightforward. Having your employees actually use it is the hard, and that's most often not forgotten but underestimated. All the CTOs that I talk to, that's like their one regret. It's like, I should have spent more time socializing why we're doing this, what the benefit is, and getting people onboarded.
Yeah.
Because no CFO on the planet ever said, awesome, let's buy an expensive tool that nobody uses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you'll walk into a very heated conversation half a year later when the statistics on usage are very low, but you've bought it and now you have to do something
with it. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, I think continuity, consistency is the final thing that I would, if you want to stick to those 3 C's, that is going to do you a lot of good. Consistently evaluate, consistently reassess. What is my current pain point? What is working well? Where do I have a challenge that isn't solved for yet? Or where does the market throw me a new channel or a new problem statement that we haven't been thinking about? Now, if you run your business on a composable architecture, that's the beautiful thing about it, is you can attach and detach anything you want at any given time. So whenever something new comes up that nobody had, ChatGPT was not on the roadmap. Shopping assistant, checkout on ChatGPT was not, nobody told you about that 3 years ago. Now, if you have an API first cloud native infrastructure, nobody's keeping you from attaching exactly that one piece that you want in the way that you want it and do it now. You don't have to wait for a platform to wake up and actually respond to something that has probably been in the market for a while. So if you want to be a first mover, especially in retail, it's such an important, unique advantage. If you want to be a first mover, I doubt that, if you're a platform customer, you'll be the first to anything ever. And then on the other hand, there are basic functionalities, your ERP, probably your OMS, probably some core commerce component. You don't need to build that bespoke. Just buy it as out of the you're not that special. But you might be very special in some of the other parts and some of the other extensions. So.
And maybe adapt, add some bits and pieces, but absolutely.
Knowing when to buy and when to build that is not a binary yes or no decision. That's an ongoing piece by piece decision. And nobody does mock alone. It's like ask for help. Go find your partners that are your peers really, and go work on the solutions with them together. You'd be surprised how far that can take you, and then how much better everybody is going to be off.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been talking a lot about what could go wrong. Let's, when we move towards the end of the conversation, go to more of a high note. Can you tell us like about an experience you had in Korea or in sports where you are super proud of what you have achieved, not because like the final achievement is such a success, but you were super excited about the process to get there. Is there anything that comes to your mind?
Oh God, yeah, sure. Plenty. And it's funny, I think the Mach Alliance, and also the women in Mach community is the perfect example.
Yeah.
Because that was an iterative process. It was I never had a goal. If you had told me 5 years ago that the Mach Alliance would be what it is today, or that we would even have a Women in Mach movement, I would have called you crazy.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just have to ride the wave and enjoy the process, and it kind of ties back into, if you find something that makes you light up like a Christmas tree, go do it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what the end result is. It's trust that something good is going to be coming out of that. The Mach Alliance was founded in 2020. I was at Valtech at the time. And the only reason I ever got involved was because my boss at the time was too busy and didn't care. And he was like, here's this weird, I don't even know what this is. Can you, but someone on the top signed it from our side, can you go have a look?
Yeah.
Now I could have said, I don't care, it's another thing, do I have to do it?
Yeah.
No, so, but I was intrigued, and I figured, hey, if 5 companies actually 5 people can get together and decide that they want to do something that is bigger than a part, something where they put their day job aside and do something for the community, I want to learn more about that. I'm curious. So I went and had a look, and then I saw some things where I thought, hey, I have ideas on how we could do this. And so I started helping with the marketing, and then they asked me to take on the marketing. And so the whole brand building, all of the roles that came with that were never part of any 3, 5 or what have you year plan. They just happened to materialize because I was so passionate about the topic. And then the same thing happened with Women in Mach. I didn't sit in my little cubicle and ideate on how could we do something for the community. Actually, somebody had the idea to bring together 100 women in tech in Madrid in 22, and I was invited to the event, and I was like, this is interesting, let's go have a look. I usually am not too fond of the pink women whatever stuff, but I was like, okay, I know people that are going, I'll have a look. So I went, and the energy was so unique and so positive.
Same experience for me on my first Woman in Mach event. Exactly the same. Yeah.
And it was, I stood there and I looked around and I was like, this is special.
Yeah.
And I walked away and I said to the Mach Alliance, I was just a participant, but this was so special, we have to do something. So, see an opportunity and then grab it by the horns and ride it and find people. I was super lucky to find amazing volunteers that helped me build a community as it exists today. And then it starts to become a self-perpetuating moment because now you have a group of passionate people and everybody starts doing what they can. But I think that is the best example. I never had a goal in mind, to be really honest. I just did it because I was passionate about it. And if you find something in your life, in sports and business, that does that to you, where you don't count the hours, you don't, you don't ask anybody, so what else do I have to do to be promoted to? No, it's like you look at it, you figure out a way to do the things, and then you just watch it grow into something beautiful, and you'll never be sorry to have done something like that.
Amazing. So Jasmin, in times like these, can you share like some habits or routines that just keep the energy up, that keep you motivated, just like some little hacks everybody can use?
Sure, and actually I've brought like one example, and this is actually my my little book of positive notes. And it's something that a coach once made me do, and I hated him for it in the beginning. So again, it gets a lot easier with time. But what I do, and that might be surprising to some, because we all look confident and we all look like we're super professional all the time. But if we're being honest, if I'm being honest, there are also days where I feel like I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Everybody hates me. And it's just you're having a bad day. And there's a very easy way to conquer those kinds of rough spots.
Yeah.
So what I do in this little thing is whenever somebody says something nice about me, I write it down.
Okay.
So, here's my little proof that I can look into whenever I feel like I'm not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is so simple, but it changes everything. Because the second you even start thinking, oh, I don't even know what I'm doing. Just the fact that you have a little book that you can look into immediately pulls you out of that dark cloud of thinking. And if you then actually look into what actual real people have said about you in terms of amazing things, and they're a lot better than you'd think. And these are so easy to forget because we're all primed to focus on the things that aren't going that well. So if you can have a little book like this, and every once in a while just kind of thumb through it, it changes your whole energy and your whole being. So
perfect for all of us imposter victims.
And aren't we all? Aren't we all? So and it's really as honest as that. Just little one sentences, and you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. And this is something I've been doing ever since, and it's the easiest way.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so we are running out of time, unfortunately. I have one last, not really a question, but to close our conversation, I would like to ask you to finish the following sentence. The future belongs to those who...
The future belongs to those who choose courage over comfort. Because if you want to achieve something special, if you want to dream big and go after your big goals, you have to get out of your comfort zone. Magic never happens inside that comfort zone. Magic happens as soon as you leave it. So choose courage and then be on your way.
Wonderful. I don't want to add anything to that. Thank you so much, Jasmin, for opening up, for telling us so much about yourself, about the book, what you wrote down in the book. I think it really, really, really helpful and beneficial in life, in sports, in business, everywhere. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.